The Earth was completely destroyed due to the war on the Earth. That's why some people were sent to the moon so that they could go there and make colonies for the rest of the humans. And when all this work was done, after which humans left the Earth and started living on the moon. But it was not so easy to live on the moon because there used to be a meteor storm there, so that's why they had to change all these decisions. After which, humans started mining on the moon so that they could find an easy way to live on the moon. So many people were kept for mining, who were called miners. And this rule was also made that these miners will live with their family on the moon. Now we are shown the children of the miners who were born in this place, i.e., on the moon. All of them were trying to steal the space rover, i.e., the car that could run on the moon. Then someone comes there, out of which everyone was scared and hid. One of them, whose name is Caleb, had a capsule in his hand. His father was also a miner who was killed while working. Caleb is sent to Omega after 3 days, where he will be adopted by another family, where life is happy in every way. People live a very pleasant life. Here we are told that it takes about 75 years to go from the moon to Omega, during which the traveler, cryo-sleep, lives in a chamber which does not increase the age of the person when he reaches Omega from the moon. Caleb knew that it would take him 75 years to reach Omega, but Caleb did not want to go from here. He knew that he would never be able to meet his friends again. A lady tells him that the next day a meteor storm is going to start, after which you will have to leave for Omega. Caleb was missing his dad a lot. He remembers how he used to go to the top and sit with his dad at the base here. He remembers that his dad had told him that something dangerous came across the moon and there was a crater there. You must go to that place once. But no human was allowed to go beyond the moon. And the capsule we saw in Caleb's hand was given to him by a guard who found it from his dad's ashes. When Caleb was sitting and thinking all this, 3 of his friends came to him, who were very sad because of his departure. One of them, whose name is Dylan, knew the last wish of Caleb's dad, which was to go to the crater. Dylan says, "Why don't we see that crater before you go? This way your dad's last wish will be fulfilled." But all this was not so easy. The things they need to go there, they collect those things. Now they needed a code to get out of here. Dylan says that there is a girl here whose name is Addison. Addison had shifted from Earth to the moon a few days ago. She had no friends. She was the daughter of a scientist. So Dylan says, maybe she knows about the code. When he goes to talk to Addison, she does not say anything to him and goes away from there. Seeing this, Dylan follows him and tells him everything. He says, "I wanted to be friends with you from the beginning, even if everyone thinks you are strange." Addison listens to everything and says, "Okay, I am ready to help you people, but I will also go with you in your mission." Dylan listens to him and gets ready to take him with him. All the kids have reached the rover space. They were all stealing it. Caleb pulls the wire of his alarm first so that his alarm does not go off. Then he puts the code given by Addison, which opened the door. They were all ready to go now. Dylan was responsible for driving the rover because he knew driving from all of them. They all leave from there. They saw the moon for the first time. Everyone was very happy. But these people had to come back before the meteor storm came, because when the meteor rains, the base is locked down. During the journey, everyone starts telling about themselves. Caleb says that my dad told me how people were sent to the moon and then they were mined. But no human being can do the job of staying on the moon and mining continuously. Like if that person dies during work, then his son or any member of his family will have to complete that work. But the condition for this is that that person's son should be 18 years old. If he is younger than that, then he will be adopted by another family who live on the Omega planet. Those who were sent to the moon started living happily on Omega. Addison says, "So what? A job of mining was given, which has to be done for only 20 years. Addison was the daughter of a scientist, so she didn't know about the real thing. Here, Dylan explains everything to her that if a person who does mining dies, then his son has to complete the rest of the years. Addison was a little surprised to hear this. Now they had to walk the rest of the way. Everyone wears their spacesuits. Addison's suit was a little different and good in all this. Anyway, they come out, where due to the lack of gravitational force, everyone was jumping very high. Everyone starts playing here. When Addison sees the Earth on the planet, she gets a little sad and starts remembering her past moments on Earth. When Addison comes back, she sees that Caleb, Dylan, everyone was going up in space with the help of an oxygen gas container. They tied themselves with a rope with a rover so that they could not go far in space. Addison sees this and says, "This can be dangerous. Don't do this." But no one listens to her. When a little friend of Caleb starts doing all this, his rope broke due to the shock, because of which he went far into space. Seeing all this, Caleb and his other friends try to save him with an oxygen cylinder. Everyone managed to save their friend. But in all this, a lot of their oxygen ran out. They didn't have enough oxygen to reach the crater. Everyone was badly stuck. That's when Caleb remembers that one of his friends told him that there is an outpost somewhere here. What if they go there and get oxygen? Hearing this, Caleb's friend says that I will not go there because my brother told me that ghosts live there. Hearing this, Dylan starts making fun of him, and that's when they had a fight. Seeing this, Caleb shouts loudly and says, "Do you want to fight me and destroy all the time you have left to live?" Hearing this, the two became friends again. Anyway, they reach that outpost where it was very dark. There they see shadows of humans. Seeing this, everyone was scared. When they turn on the lights, they find that they are not humans, but puppets. And this is not an outpost, but a model of such a house that if humans were alive, they would live in such houses. Anyway, they get some food and oxygen there. It was also night, so everyone decides to spend the night. Dylan tells Edison about himself that my dad left me alone. Edison also tells about himself that my mom and dad got divorced. After that, my mom took my brother and went to Omega Planet. I feel very lonely. Everyone was asleep, but Caleb and Edison were still awake. Caleb starts talking to Edison. He says that after my dad's death, my friend Dylan supported me. He is my everything. I will go to Omega. Dylan will be left alone. So after my death, always stay with him. Promise me, Edison. He also promised Caleb. In the morning, they start their journey again. But now their rover's battery was over. They also had a shortage of oxygen. So they had to reach the crater before the meteor storm. They all get worried. That's why Edison had set the security alarm so that the guards come and save them. They all reach the crater, which was very big. These stairs came down to a strange place where Edison sees a button on the wall. As soon as he presses it, all the places there changed, as if people were on the ground. All this was not real. But still, they like everything. When Caleb picks up a stone here and looks at it, he finds his mom's ashes and her picture below it. Caleb had seen his mom for the first time. He also understands why his dad wanted him to come here. He was very sad. Dylan tells him why he is losing this beautiful chance of his life. Here, everyone wants that. After completing 20 years of mining, he will go to Omega. And there are very few people. That's why your dad gave up his life. Here he finds out that his dad took his life on purpose so that Caleb could be sent to Omega. He could live a good life about which everyone knew. Dylan says, "Don't refuse to take your dad's gift. He has given you this gift by giving his life." Then a friend gets sick while talking to him. They all try to get him to their rover quickly. But then the meteor storm began. Everyone was trying to save themselves. Edison also saves himself and gets separated from him. When no one sees him, Caleb and Dylan want to save him. There was a crack in Edison's helmet. That's why he faints. Caleb and Dylan save Edison and bring him back. But in the meantime, Dylan also falls. But Caleb saved him. Everyone comes inside the rover, whose windows were also broken by the meteor storm. They also had low oxygen. That's why they couldn't stay alive. Everyone sits in the same rover and waits for their death. Everyone understood that they would not be able to survive, but they were happy that everyone would die together, after which everyone became unconscious. After this incident, the story is shown to us a little later. We are shown Caleb, who has reached Omega. That means it had been 75 years since that incident. Caleb was in cryosleep, but now he wakes up from the moon. It takes about 75 years to reach Omega, during which the traveler lives in a cryosleep chamber, which does not increase his lifespan. When he reaches Omega from the moon, he is only that much old. He wanted to know about his friends. Then a nurse comes and gives him an audio device in which his friends' messages were recorded. He finds out that all of them were saved that day. His friends have lived more than half their lives. Like a friend started his baseball team and the other friend became an administrator. As promised, Edison married Dylan. Knowing about his friends' lives, Caleb is very happy to hear the voice of his growing age. But still, he was sad that he could not spend his life with his friends. A family had adopted Caleb on the Omega planet. He gets lost in this environment. He also finds Edison's brother here, about whom Edison had told that he lives with his mom on Omega. Caleb tells Edison's brother about his sister's good deeds, who worked against the rules like mining on the moon and got them destroyed. And with this, the story of this film ends here.